Okay. Do you remember what we were talking about? We passed Joshua, but after Joshua in the Bible comes Judges. But not judges like those guys who wear the wigs and the big black robes. Not that kind of judge. Yes, the ones with swords. There we go. So, we have judges, and we've had Caleb's brother who led an army. We had Ehud the lefty. We had Deborah, who was the lady leader, and then Jael, who helped with the hammer spike through the guy's head. We remember all of these things. And now we have Gideon. And you remember Gideon appeared? Well, God appeared to Gideon and told him to lead the people, and Gideon asked for the sign. He did the thing with the fleece, but he got mixed up. He asked for a miracle, but he asked for the wrong way, so it wasn't a miracle at all. You remember this? Okay. So now, Gideon got his miracle. The fleece was left out, and the ground was wet, and the fleece was dry. And Gideon said, okay, God is with me. So he called the people together, and they gathered to get ready to attack the enemy, who were the people of Midian. You don't need to remember that, though. Midian. Midian. Our good guy is Gideon with a G. Our bad guys are the Midianites with an M. That's a little confusing, isn't it? Gideon. Can you say Gideon? Gideon is our good guy. And Gideon has an army now. He has thousands of men ready to follow him and to fight the bad guys. And God says to him, the people that are with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. If I let you go out with the people you have, the people are going to say, we did it. We were strong, we were many, we were ready. We fought a good battle. So, he says to Gideon, go and tell the people, saying, if anybody is afraid that he might die in the fighting, tell him to go home. So Gideon tells them that, and 22,000 people left, and 10,000 remained. And God said to Gideon, 10,000 still too many, send some more home. Let's see, who are we going to send? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to the stream and we're going to get a drink. And God told him, so, whoever, I want you to separate them. The people who bend down to the water and lap it up like dogs, right? And have you ever seen anybody drink water like that? But apparently they did, because God says, set those people off to the side, on one side, and everyone who drinks with his hands, put them somewhere else. And let's see, there was one other division, but that's okay. Oh, those who bent down on their knees to drink, and those who used their hands, well, there were only, and put their hands to their mouth, there were 300 of them. And God said, those guys, pick the 300. Take them to go fight the war. So do you understand what's happening? God tells them, everyone go down to the water and get a drink. And then depending on how they drink, I'm going to pick out the least number. So the ones who put their hand in the water and brought it to their mouth and drank like that, God said, I want those guys. But there were only 300 of them. I guess the rest of them were thirsty and they stuck their heads in the water. Okay? So 300 left. He started with 22,000 people and he's left with 300. That's not a lot of people to go and fight with. We can fit 300 people in this church if it's full. That's not a lot of people. Especially because how many is he going to fight? Let's see. It says the whole host of Midian. So we're going to assume 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Lots of people. They are outnumbered. 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1, and they're going to fight. Okay? So they go, and I'm not going to spoil the story. God tells them, surround the Midianites. So the 300 guys surround the camp full of thousands and thousands and thousands of bad guys. And Gideon says, okay, we're going to get torches, we're going to hide them in pots, and we're going to break the pots and show the torches, and we're going to shout. And they shouted, and the enemy got so frightened that they killed each other and ran away. They blowed the trumpets too, I forgot. They blew the trumpets. They blowed the trumpets. My goodness. Father Anthony is embarrassed. I said they blowed the trumpets. Anyway, they blew the trumpet. And they won. Now, at this point, we can actually begin to see a pattern in the judges. And I want you to understand this. The first judge had an army. He was a normal guy. His brother was a hero, and he delivered the people. The next judge was also a war leader. He was left-handed, but he had some tricks, but he assassinated the king and then the bad king, and he led the people, and they won, right? The third judge was a woman, but she still went and got a man who led an army, and they defeated the enemy long before anything else happened. And every time that the people are delivered by God by the hand of these judges, what do? They sin again. They forget. And the reason that we're starting to realize is that they think that they're saving themselves. They're not trusting God. So as soon as they're free again, they forget God because they never really believed that He was the one that was helping them in the first place. So when we get to Gideon, what we see is God is making it very, very clear to the people that He's helping them, that they can't do this by themselves. And even if they could, that He is with them, and that is what makes them different. It's not that they're descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's that God loves them. That is what makes them safe and right and good. Okay? They're going to keep on forgetting, but Gideon and his 300 men who defeated the whole army, this is the clearest we've gotten yet. It'll get clearer still. God's going to break it down until there's only one person fighting. Okay? But do you understand the point here? The message is this. We don't need an army. We need God. We don't need fancy toys and computers and cell phones. We need God. That is all we need in this world. We forget this, but it's true. And now let's stand up and let's take communion. Make a good line and leave space for me, okay? Metaphor Theopis, Dios que agapis proserte